Olix Network 18, Mission Poshan, Bhavishya Roshan.
Hi there, good afternoon. You're watching Your Stocks. I'm Mangla Malu. With me is Sumaira Abdi. Sumaira, doesn't look like a very good afternoon for our markets because we're at the low point of the day. The frontline indices as well as the Nifty Bank, which is under pressure. The mid-caps relentless selling continues out there as well. And as we speak, the European markets, they're at the high point of the day. So our declines are primarily isolated in nature.
That's true, actually. And, you know, from the get-go, we've actually underperformed the entire globe. So we've underperformed Asia, we're underperforming the European markets. As well, the US futures are trading, higher in the green. So it looks like India is isolated in that respect, that, we're just sort of discounting the global risk on that is there. But we'll get to all of that, a lot of stock queries as well. First up, our top stories. Global risk on and easing crude prices fail to fire the market. Key indices remain under pressure. Dr. Reddy's Reliance Infosys bad for the bulls. The mid-cap index underperforms.
The ICICI Bank stock trades flat despite a whistleblower allegation that SR Group's Ruyas received undue favors from the chief Chanda Kochar.
Well, the window opens up for foreign institutional investors to buy into HDFC Bank shares. The stock, though, fails to sustain at higher levels.
Fourth quarter earnings not as cheerful as earlier expected. CLSA and UBS lower their FY19 consensus estimates by 3%, pushing hopes of an earnings recovery even further.
And ahead of the monetary policy this week, government sources caution that financial conditions are going to be tighter this fiscal. Majority of the market braces for a rate hike. Well, those are our top stories. Let's invite our two experts on Your Stocks. Gaurang Shah and Prakash Gaba join in to answer all the queries that are coming in from our many viewers. Gentlemen, good afternoon to both of you. Our first query comes in from Keshav Raj, who's on the line with us from Bengaluru. Hi, Keshav. How can we help you?
Hi. Actually, I have 33 shares of Apex Frozen Foods, an average of 663.
Okay.
So I just want to know the medium-term view.
Okay. Gaurang, let me come to you on this. Today as well, Apex Frozen Foods locked in a lower circuit, but I remember right after, its IPO, it had multiple days of and a stellar rally. But through the year, look at that, it's about, 40% down for 2018. This month, it's down about 10-odd%. For somebody who's losing quite a bit of money, what can the advice be?
Good afternoon to all of you all, Sumaira. Well, unfortunately, we don't have any specific coverage on Apex food, frozen food that is. But you are right, almost 6-8 months, 1 year. Actually, if you go to see, the stock has been all over the place. And right from, I think, sub 300 or closer to 400 levels to about that multifold rise that we saw. And of course, then you had a little bit of concern coming in from the geographies where they supply their produce, and that's from the US. And I think, again, difficult for a stock to, maintain the momentum on fallback of the news flows that we've had. But can't comment buy, sell and hold because we don't have any specific coverage.
All right, then let's go to Prakash. Prakash, on Apex Frozen Foods, what's your view? In fact, the view on the sector itself, there's Avanti Feeds out there, there's Water Waste Limited, which makes shrimp feed. So, which is the best looking chart out there?
See, basically, it's just listed on 10 months back. It's been a good up move. Thereafter, for the last 6 or 7 months, I think is corrected. Now, correction is so far within limits. Strong support in the vicinity of 425. Depends how much pain he gets. His cost is high. What should he do? Possibly, it can come down to 425, 450 levels as well. Now, it's trading at 500, which is a psychological support. Now, if it breaks 500, you can see a slide to around 450. Should he add there is a question. I don't think I would add there waiting now. I would like to see some strength if I have to head there. So far, I will wait it out. Quite possible it can go up to 625. If it goes to 625, exit.
All right. Hold on till 500 is held, and if it's 625 exit, that's as clear a view as it comes on Apex.
I want to ask Prakash whether the operative part of that answer is 625 or if.
625, I think. Later on, it will go, but 625 is a stiff resistance. It needs to cross that. So far, it looks down first, then up.
Okay, you'll have to be a little more patient. Down first, then up. Okay, let's move on. Then we have Rishikesh Thote calling from Pune. He has investments in TCS. Rishikesh?
गुड आफ्टरनून सर।
Yep.
सर मेरे पास अभी TCS के 4 शेयर्स है जो मैंने 1800 रुपए में खरीदे थे, तो मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि ये कितने दिन तक मैं होल्ड करके रखूँ।
आपने हाल ही में खरीदे होंगे क्योंकि 1800 रुपए तो अभी रिसेंटली
हाँ सर, अभी।
तो कितने दिन के लिए, मतलब आप शॉर्ट टर्म इन्वेस्टर हो?
यस सर।
और TCS के अलावा और भी कोई स्टॉक्स हैं आपके पोर्टफोलियो में?
नहीं सर, कैनरा के थे, मैंने अभी हाल ही में बेच दिए थे अभी।
Okay, Prakash, so he had Canara and he sold it very recently. He has very recently bought TCS at, I think 1800 is a record high for that stock, and he wants to hold it for a very short term.
Very short term, he should be out because in the very short term, I see some downside.
Okay.
Basically, the structure is positive. He is bought at the wrong place. The ideal place to buying was some 1350 or maybe 1400 zones. That's it. Now it's gone up too high. Time to correct. So if it's short term, exit. If it's long term, hold.
ओके ऋषिकेश, एक्चुअली मैं आपको कंग्रेचुलेशंस कहना चाहती हूँ कि आप एक स्टूडेंट हैं, आप 20 साल के हैं और आपने ऑलरेडी अपने इन्वेस्टमेंट्स के बारे में सोचना शुरू कर दिया है। ऑल्दो हमारे एक्सपर्ट की राय है कि आपने जो शुरुआत की है वो बहुत ही हाई लेवल पे की है। एंड गौरंग, आई वांट टू ब्रिंग यू इन ऑन दिस बिकॉज आई डोंट वांट टू डिस्करेज ऋषिकेश entirely. It's a good beginning. It's commendable that at 20 he's already thinking about his investments. But anything you want to tell him about how and when and you know, of stock picking and how he should look at making his investments?
Sure, Sumera, and I hope it's okay if I answer that in Hindi.
Absolutely.
तो ऋषिकेश, सबसे पहले तो ये जो पूंजी आपने निवेश की है ये काबिले तारीफ है। जैसे अभी सुमेरा जी भी बता रहे थे कि आपको स्टूडेंट होने के बावजूद आपने निवेश करना शुरू किया है, तो मैं ये उम्मीद रखता हूँ कि ये जो भी पैसे आपने निवेश किए हैं TCS के शेयर में या फिर आगे जा कर के जो भी अन्य शेयर आप खरीदेंगे, ये आपके खुद के बचाए हुए पैसे होंगे। ये किसी से लिवरेज करके पैसा उठाया नहीं है आपने, ये मैं उम्मीद रखता हूँ। अगर यही सूरत हाल है और आपने खुद से मेहनत मुशक्कत करके अगर आपने पैसे बचाए और वो निवेश करना चाहते हैं, तो पहली बात तो TCS में आपका निवेश काफ़ी सुरक्षित है, ये मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा। दूसरी बात, आपने ये स्टॉक हाल ही में बोनस हुआ था, मेरे ख्याल से 1:1 बोनस था, और वो प्राइस एडजस्टमेंट के बाद आपने खरीदी की, और बाजार का माहौल भी कुछ दुरुस्त नहीं है, उसकी वजह से हम थोड़ा बहुत आपके निवेश में आप थोड़ा बहुत नुकसान ही देख रहे हैं। अगर आप अपना नज़रिया यानी कि जो समय सीमा है वो परिवर्तन करें लंबी अवधि के नज़रिए से, तो ये बहुत ही उचित होगा। और मैं आपको राय दूंगा कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा आप कोशिश करें कि दिग्गजों में, लार्ज कैप में, इंडेक्स वेटेड स्टॉक्स में निवेश करें और लंबी अवधि का नज़रिया करें। 3-6 महीने में बाजार उठापटक होगी, चुनाव आ रहे हैं, बाजार के सूरत हाल में भी काफ़ी कुछ वोलेटिलिटी होगी, उससे थोड़ा बच करके रहें और लंबी अवधि का नज़रिया रखें।
All right, लंबी अवधि का नज़रिया रखें, that's the word in on his investment. But apart from his investment, Prakash, he's a 20-year-old person in Pune. What do you recommend he should do with the money that he makes off the investment?
Reinvest again.
Reinvest again?
Absolutely.
No,
20 years. No, don't play. Pune, if he wants, I did gliding there. If he wants, he loves gliding, flying, a lot of adventure sports there, a lot of risky. I'm a risk taker. If he wants to be, go there. Give my name out there. They'll entertain him.
All right. So ऋषिकेश, आपके लिए राय यही है कि फिलहाल आप TCS में बने रहिए, आप अपना जो नज़रिया है उसको लॉन्ग टर्म का बनाइए और आप अच्छे दिग्गज स्टॉक्स, बड़े स्टॉक्स, इंडेक्स स्टॉक्स में इन्वेस्टमेंट करिए एंड बेसिकली आप बने रहिए, आप इन्वेस्टमेंट करते रहिए। All right, आप जी बताइए।
मैम एक्चुअली मैं अभी इंट्राडे करता हूँ, तो ये सही होगा क्या कि मैं इंट्राडे कर रहा हूँ?
ओके ऋषिकेश, मैंने जो भी बोला मैं वापस लेती हूँ क्योंकि आपको
प्रकाश, गो फॉर इट प्रकाश।
इंट्राडे कर सकते हैं तो जरूर कीजिए। एक बात बता दूं आपको, साइकिल चलाने के लिए भी साइकिल चलाना सीखना पड़ता है। अगर आप इंट्राडे करते हैं जरूर कीजिए, इनकम प्रोड्यूसिंग मेथड है, लेकिन उसके पहले सीखिए। अगर आप सीखते नहीं है तो आपका गारंटी 100% नुकसान होगा। अगर आपका नुकसान होगा तो उससे अच्छा है कोई और आपसे कमाए, अपने पर खर्चा करे, आप अपने पर खर्चा कर लो।
ऋषिकेश, क्या आप इसको अपना करियर बनाना चाहते हैं?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
Okay, so that is actually the thing. He's just testing the waters right now, and
he has
perhaps
to learn.
looking to.
He has to learn.
Okay, in that case, Hrishikesh, all the very best from our entire team, and we do hope that you are successful.
Yes,
all right. Up next, we have DR Bansal, who's written to us from New Delhi. He holds 350 shares of LIC Housing. He's bought it at 547, so he's making about 24,000 in a loss. He bought it 5 months ago. He's a long-term investor and wants to know what he should do. Gaurang, LIC Housing?
Well, Sumera, again, we as a brokerage house, Geojit Financial Services, we are extremely positive on the NBFC stroke HFC, that is non-banking finance company, housing finance companies verticals. And, though two names, if I can mention over here, LIC Housing and Canfin Homes, have been an underperformer for the last maybe about 9 months to a year. There are certain issues for which the underperformance is there. But if I have to look at, infrastructure status to affordable housing, housing for all, because of demonetization, GST and RERA, the real estate sector is going through huge changes and there's going to be a huge consolidation. And over a period of time, we believe that the loan book growth is definitely going to look more positive, and especially in cities like Mumbai, where nobody could have dreamt about real estate prices coming down. They actually come down below any reckoner prices in some of the geographies. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we remain positive, but the view has to be at least 18 to 24 months. As a disclosure, we do have a buy coverage and a hold advice on LIC Housing, and you can average also closer to about 450 or sub 450 on a bad day.
The market itself is at the low point of the day, and the Nifty Bank has actually lost quite a bit of ground. So it's from the top, it's lost, I think, in excess of now 700 points. 750 points from the top. It's down about 400 points. And look at the contribution chart of the index of the Nifty, and you'll see that it's the banking stocks that are actually the biggest drag in trade today, and so HDFC, of course, being the biggest casualty. But let's get back to our queries viewer who's written to us from Mumbai. He has 820 shares in India Cements. He's bought it at 167 rupees about 6 months back. He is a medium-term investor and wants to know what he should do at this point. Prakash, let me come to you for this. India Cements, he's losing quite significantly over there. So what would the call be?
167, now it's 116. I think there is some more slide on India Cement, but there's a very strong support in the vicinity of 9600 zones. So there is a pain, so there's some more pain out there. But if it comes down lower, that's the time to add India Cement and hold for long term. No point booking loss on a stock like this. So it will see a slide there as well. So if perspective is long, hold on, add closer to around 9600 zones.
All right. Gaurang, your view on India Cements, because valuation-wise, it is one of the cheaper stocks in the cement industry, but deleveraging is the key for India Cements. So would you concur with that? And at these levels, what would you recommend to our viewer?
So yes, I would definitely, in sync with what you have mentioned, and of course in agreement with what Prakash just mentioned. And most importantly, Mangalam, I think traders, short-term, medium-term investors should be wary about booking, losses, and if the stop loss gets triggered, to exit from the position. And you need to be disciplined over there. Having said that, we remain positive, yes. And at 116 or 17, I think if the investor has got investable amount and can convert and has time by his side, then please average and change your time horizon to about 18-24 months.
All right, so increase your investable capital as well as change your investable time horizon to 18 to 24 months, and you might make great returns in India Cement. So that's the word coming in from both our technical and fundamental experts. But let's move on to the next one. We have Mr. J.D. Praveen writing to us from Karnataka. Holds 25 shares of Indiabulls Ventures at 320 rupees a piece for the last 2 months. Long-term investor, wants to know whether to hold or sell. Prakash, if you take a look at the Indiabulls Ventures chart over the last few years, they've been given phenomenal returns, and he bought it 2 months ago, still making some amount of money. Do you think there's more to go?
Take your time off. Take money off the table. Simple. Okay. I would do that. I'm seeing the market low. Perhaps even Indiabulls Ventures can slide down. You always re-enter. Where's the problem? Market's not closing down tomorrow morning. It's open at 9:15. Maybe if it comes down, fine. If it doesn't come, so okay. And the best place to enter Indiabulls Venture again is 275 zones. If it comes there, if it doesn't, goodbye. Take money off the table.
Okay.
All right, so that makes sense. Up next, our query comes in from Chandra, who writes to us from Mumbai. She holds 1,600 shares in Shree Renuka. She's bought it at 1560 odd. She bought about 10 months ago. She's a long-term investor and wants to know what she should do at this point in time. So, Prakash, she's making a tad bit of money right now. Would you consider that somebody like this should remain invested for the longer term and perhaps see higher levels?
Not at all. Exit, please, request you, because she's wasted 10 months of time. Making money is not enough here because she should be making money. You board a train, if it doesn't go to the destination, just simple. Absolutely, deboard the trend. You got a trend, then has to be there. If it's not there, be out.
Prakash is not holding anything back today. He's just saying that, he's just saying it as it is. So that's exactly
Put your money where your mouth is.
Put your money where your mouth is, as categorical as it gets as far as advice is concerned. So we'll take that and we'll give it to our viewer as well. But as we do that, as we slip into a short break, actually, let's continue our focus on the sugar space as well. The query was with regards to Shree Renuka Sugars, but Balrampur Chini was down in trade after posting a weak set of third quarter earnings. And after ISMA wrote to the ministry saying that the sugar industry may not be able to function next season. We spoke with Vivek Saraugi, the MD of the company, earlier today on his outlook for sugar prices going ahead. Should help with a view on the sugar industry itself. Let's hear him out.
Our pending demands or pleas are a buffer stock. I'm hearing of some minimum price. And we are also looking at talking about in the future or next year onwards, one has to forget a figure as cane price. You have to see the sugar price and what is the paying capacity. I don't think central government definitely is looking to act. So based on that premise, I don't think price will come down from here.
All right, just keep an eye on the markets. They are extending their losses. 200 points shaved off nearly on the Sensex, 400 points shaved off on the Nifty Bank, as well as the mid-cap index losing about 225 points. The advanced decline ratio, that one catches my attention because we opened with the greens in favor of advances in favor of the green line above the red line, but then slowly and steadily we only deteriorated from there, and now the red and the green lines are widest, as we can see. Nearly 6 stocks in the red for 1 in the green. So we'll keep an eye out on the internals of the market. This even as the European markets as well as markets over the world were in the green. European markets closer to the higher end of today's trading session. Moving on to our queries now. D. Saujanya, writing to us from Hyderabad, holds 13 shares of Asian Paints at 792 rupees for the last 3 years. Long-term investor wants to know whether to hold or sell. Prakash, 3 years Asian Paints, quality stock, long-term investor. Any complaints?
Not at all. Why would I sell? No way I would sell. If it comes down, keep adding it. In fact, have an SIP method here. And hold it for 3 years. Completely. Keep adding at every decline. So keep adding every month and stay invested. Damn good stock. Hold it. Good chart structure. Hold it.
Okay. Gaurang, you concur?
You dare not.
Yes, Sumera, I'll definitely concur with what Prakash has just mentioned. The only sad part is that, he bought in at 13 shares at 980 and he spent 3 years. He got plenty of opportunity to add more to the stock. I mean, forget about crude oil prices going up. Paint companies have got a niche marketing strategy to pass on the price increase to the end consumer. And more importantly, I think the contribution from high-end decorative as well as automobile paint segment has been showing some fantastic traction. We do have a positive coverage on Asian Paints.
All right, positive coverage on Asian Paints, but before that, Prakash, you did something to Gaurang. You want to do that again? What was that? I think everyone missed it.
I think we disagree. I just load my gun in.
What was that gun loading for?
Yeah, maybe Gaurang should consider coming to our studio.
Yeah, very dear friend. Very dear friend.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for not just advising our viewers, but for also entertaining us through this half hour. Thanks very much, as always. Well, watch for the market. Not a lot of entertainment over there. In fact, it could get a little painful for some people. The Sensex is now down close to about 200 points. So, needless to say, at the low point of the day, getting closer to the 35,000 mark. The Nifty is down about 0.6%. The mid-cap index more so. So, underperforming from the word go and now down 240 points. And the Nifty Bank, that's where the major pain is today. So, all of the constituents of the Nifty Bank, that's all the banking stocks, barring Yes Bank, are now in the red. Yes Bank alone is seeing some bit of buying buying. But other than that, it's quite a bit of red and extending losses as we speak. We'll wrap up on your stocks. Remember to keep sending us all your stock queries by logging on to cnbctv18.com. Up next, closing bell.